Thanks for joining us today. We're talking about one of the questions we hear most often from separating parents, which is, how much time should my child spend with me? And is there any presumption of equal time?
Yes, and the starting point is actually quite simple. In every case involving children, the child's welfare is the one thing that matters above everything else. It's not about what feels fair for the adults, but what is genuinely right for the child.
Exactly. And if parents are able to agree between themselves, then the court doesn't need to get involved at all. There is a no-order principle. Many families never even see a courtroom. They work out what suits their child and what suits them as their family, within their families and in their day-to-day lives. And then some parents record it in a parenting plan, so everyone is clear, but others just make it work and deal with the day-to-day between themselves.
If parents cannot reach agreement, the court can step in and make a decision about how the child's time should be divided. The court will look at a range of factors which include the child's wishes and feelings, their physical, emotional and educational needs, the impact of any changes, the child's background and any risks of harm, and how capable each parent is at meeting the child's needs. All of this is part of what is called the welfare assessment, otherwise known as the welfare checklist.
Since 2014, that welfare assessment has included a statutory presumption that a child benefits in life from involvement from both parents. That was intended to mean some sort of meaningful role for each parent. It was not a presumption, a set presumption of a certain number of nights or a 50-50 structure.
And importantly, that presumption could always be overridden if there are safety concerns. However, it raised worries that it created a culture that pushed for contact even where that was unsafe. So in October 2025, the government announced its intention to repeal the presumption. There is no date yet for the formal change, but it is a clear signal that courts must look at each case with fresh eyes and without leaning on that presumption.
As we touched on earlier, shared care does not automatically mean 50-50 time. The focus is not on dividing a week into percentages, but on the quality of the child's lived experience with each parent. What routine works for the child? What feels stable? What meets their needs? And what, in reality, works best for the family structure?
That is why thinking practically is so important. Parents need to be ready to show how their routines, work commitments, and home setup support the arrangements they're proposing. Things like school runs, homework, medical appointments, and day-to-day care play a part. Above all, the arrangements have to be safe.
And where it's safe to do so, the court will also expect each parent to support the child's relationship with the other parent. A solid co-parenting relationship is key, but it's not always easy. It takes hard work and compromise, and in some instances, it may be very challenging.
Third-party support can also be really helpful in determining what the child arrangements should be and resolving any disputes that arise whilst the arrangements are in place. For example, parties can attend mediation to resolve disputes, and parents will be assisted by attending parenting courses about how to manage arrangements following a separation.
Ultimately, every family is different, and there's no one-size-fits-all formula. Taking early specialist advice is always sensible, and there are some excellent resources and courses available for separating parents. The theme running through all of this is simple. Focus on what helps your child feel secure, happy, and supported.
Well said, Jamie. And that is exactly what the court will be focusing on too. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for future episodes in our Family Matters series.